So recently, the last couple of times that I've hung out with my friends, none of whom are musicians or play guitar or anything, something that they've been loving to do is just put on random songs, whatever, and just have me play along with them. And they're really excited by the fact that basically any song, I can just hear it a few times, figure out the key in just a second, and then just start playing along with the chords. And it's not magic. This isn't anything special. I don't have perfect pitch or anything. This just comes from years of figuring out songs, figuring out tunes, figuring out chords. And I've realized one of the most important things that you can do is memorize chord progressions, because learning songs isn't rocket science. Most normal songs are built up in a few different ways, but there are a few specific kind of patterns of how they're built up. And a lot of times, some of the same, maybe 5 or 10 chord progressions are used, or variations of them. So what you can do to start learning guitar songs or guitar chords more quickly, this isn't just guitar, this is any instrument, is start memorizing chord progressions and start being able to recognize them. So on the guitar specifically, if we start out in one key, let's take E minor, and one of the most common chord progressions there is E minor, C, G, D. And basically this might be too much music theory for some of you, might be common knowledge for others. E minor is the relative minor of G major. That just means that they have the exact same notes in the scale. And they just start on a different position. And so every major key has a relative minor and vice versa. So basically we're playing E minor, C, G, D, and how most people think about this is we're playing the minor 6, then the 4, then the 1, and then the 5 chord. And the numbers just designate basically the scale degree, the degree of which position, which note of the scale it is. It doesn't really matter for now. The important thing is we're taking this chord progression, and for those of you starting to get further, starting to learn bar chords, or maybe you know bar chords and you're trying to look for the next step, we'll take this as bar chords, and what we'll do is play it up here. And so there's a pattern to this chord progression, and as soon as we learn this pattern and are able to recognize this pattern, you can move it around to any other key, and it's the same pattern. And so that's where the magic is, because then if you know this progression in E minor, and then say you're playing a song in C minor, and you hear this progression, then you know, oh, starting on C minor, and then playing the rest of this pattern. So what this is we're playing one minor chord followed by three major chords. And for this variation of the progression, we're playing the first chord with the root on the A string, then the root on the E string, then the root on the A string again, and then the root on the E string again. So it's just going A, E from the strings. So we have our starting chord, the minor chord. To get to the next chord, we know it's a major chord, and the root's on the E string. Then we just go up 1 fret, so that we're on the 8th fret. Next chord is a major chord, root is on the A string. Here we go up 2 frets. So we went from 8 to 10 for the root note where the bar is at. And then for the last chord, it's a major chord. We know the root is on the E string, and we stay on the same fret. So the pattern is A string root, go up 1 fret to E string root, then 2 frets up to the A string root again, and then stay on the same fret and go to E string root. That's this common chord progression in the key of E minor. Same as here, just in a different position. Now we can take the starting chord and move it anywhere else, and then play the exact same pattern, the exact same A string, E string, A string, E string root, moving up by these frets. We can take our starting chord, move it anywhere else, and play in a different key, but it's the exact same chord progression and the exact same pattern. So for example, we move our starting note, starting chord, so that the root is on the 3rd fret. We're now in C minor. So again, same pattern. We have one minor chord and then 3 major chords. Root is on the A string, then on the E string, then on the A string again, and then on the E string again. And what's the pattern? We start, go up 1 fret, then go up 2 frets, and then we stay on the same fret. So now we've played this chord progression in C minor. If we go down so that we're starting with an open A minor chord. Now keep in mind, some of you, again, for some of you this might be obvious, this is common knowledge, but for a lot of you, especially for a lot of my students, it's kind of an aha moment when they realize that a bar chord, take the C minor, keep moving it down. Now we're playing A minor, right? Just A minor. A bar chord is just a normal open chord shape, and we're using our finger to basically be the nut of the guitar to make the strings basically stop at that point. And there's another piece of knowledge. So if we're in A minor, F, C, G, common chord progression. A lot of you might have played this before. And it's the same concept. It's the exact same shapes. Of course, now I'm using 2 open strings, but the concept stays the same. We have our minor chord, root on the A string, then our major chord, 1 fret up, root on the E string, then major chord 2 frets up, root on the A string, and then major chord on the same fret, root on the E string. So that's where kind of these ideas come from. The guitar is just patterns, it's just shapes. And once you start figuring out the patterns, everything else becomes a lot easier. If you hear a song and you kind of hear the melody, you hear kind of this movement, you recognize it, figure out the starting point, the starting note, and the rest, just play the shapes, play the patterns. Hope this helps.